What's up, family? My name is ElijahAmmi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a grown folk channel. This is where we have heart-to-heart conversations and keep it real. Here on this channel, everybody matters. Everybody's family. Here on this channel, we express love because at our core, we are love. I love you guys, and thank you for being with me on this beautiful journey called life. Peace. What's up, family? Man, I want to have a real heart-to-heart with you guys today. Before we get into that, I got to take care of a couple of administrative things. If my videos have blessed you and you'd like to sew into what we're doing here, man, you could do so through CashApp, PayPal, or Venmo. If you like to donate, man, I salute you. Thank you. And man, thank you for those of you that are contributing and those of you that are sharing the videos, those of you that are, donating. Man, I appreciate that so much. Second thing, I understand that through my website, you can only pay through PayPal to book a session. And some of you have contacted me and saying that you don't have PayPal, but you would like to book a session with me. If that's the case, you have Venmo or CashApp, and you'd like to book a session with me, man, just shoot me an email at ElijahAmmi.com and at ElijahAmmi@gmail.com. Again, email me at ElijahAmmi@gmail.com and just let me know you'd like to book a session and pay through Venmo or Cash App or Zelle, and we'll go ahead and get that taken care of. Now we got that out the way. I hate that stuff. You know what I mean? I hate talking about that stuff. I want to talk to you guys about something. And a lot of you, man, just shoot me emails and I don't know what you guys think when you guys think of me. You know what I mean? Man, family, and I want to make this video because I want to stress to you guys, I'm human. I'm human just like you guys. Man, I fart, man, I burp, I take a crap, you know what I mean? I got a shower, I eat, I bleed just like everybody else. You know what I mean? I'm no different from anybody else. You know what I mean? I'm human just like everybody else. Please do not put me on no pedestal. Do not put anyone on a pedestal. You know what I mean? I don't care what human being you're looking at. We're all human beings. We all bleed the same. Now that I've said that, yeah, there are some of us that, man, because of the studying that we've done, because we've done the work, we may have a closer connection to God. We may have more understanding in regards to God, in regards to life, in regards to how to overcome certain issues and certain things in life, just because we've gone through things and we've put in the work to understand it. And so we have a different insight, a different perspective. I understand that. I understand that. You know what I mean? And man, you salute those who put in the work. You give credit to those who deserve credit. I get that. I understand that. But do not, and I stress this, do not put anybody on the level of God status. You know what I mean? Don't praise and worship somebody, any human being. You know what I mean? Man, because what you do is you set yourself up for failure. You set yourself for disappointment. Okay? Don't do that. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that because, man, family, I've gone through a lot. You know what I mean? I don't know it all. I've gone through a lot and I've had to grow up, and I've had to put in the work, because I really didn't have people around me to teach me anything, because again, I was hard-headed. And not only was I hard-headed, man, I'm hard-headed when it comes to God. You know what I mean? So if I'm hard-headed to God, man, you can only imagine how hard-headed I am to another human being. You can't no human being tell me crap. You know what I mean? I barely listen to God. That was my mentality when I was younger. You know what I mean? Stay with me. If I barely listened to God, who was all-knowing, who knew everything, and who was always trying to look out for my best interest, if I barely listened to him and I argued with him, what make you think you as a grown man was going to come tell me what I can and can't do? You know what I mean? No. And because I was so hard-headed, man, I got my ass beat by God a lot. You know what I mean? I got beat down a lot. He made me sit in timeout a lot. And for God, me and God, I don't do timeout. Unless God's like, okay, you hard headed, you don't want to listen, we're gonna strike you down. You're gonna get real sick, or we're gonna do whoop de whoop de whoop. You're gonna get your back hurt or something, and you're gonna sit your ass down for a while until you grow up and deal with some stuff. And so, but that's how God has to deal with me. Okay. And so I get on and I'm passionate about what I talk about. I stress what I'm talking about, and I'm putting out information, and I do all that I do because God has had to beat me down a lot. You know what I mean? Because God has had to deal with me a lot. And it's like, man, I don't want anybody else to have to go through what I've gone through. I don't want anybody else to feel like, man, they got to walk this journey all alone. You know what I mean? That they got to they got to live this life and feel like nobody cares about them. Feel like nobody is trying to sow into their life. Nobody's trying to help them navigate through the hell that they've been through. You know what I mean? I've done that. I've done that. I've lived that life. And man, anybody that's a healer, anybody that's gone through some stuff, man, the last thing we want is for other people just to have to go through that also. You know what I mean? And we understand that everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own journey, and you're going to go through whatever it is that you got to go through. I can't save you. My job is not to be Captain Save-A-Hole. My job is not to put on a cape and come to your rescue. That's not my job. That's not anyone's job. Our job is just to be here as a beacon of hope, a beacon of love, inspiration, encouragement, and to challenge you to be all that you could be, to challenge you to change your perspective and to look at things a totally different way so that you get out of that situation a whole lot faster. Because the reality is, we know that your thought process is what got you in that mess in the first place. The way you think is what got you in trouble. The way you think is what has you twisted up. The way you think is why you're a victim. The way you think is why you're in survival mode. You know what I mean? And so your thought process has gotten you in the hellholes that it's gotten you into and keeps you trapped in those situations. And so we understand that, man, if we could make videos, if we could talk to you and challenge your way of thinking, not to make you feel bad, not to make you feel stupid, not to put you down or invalidate your feelings and your thoughts, not to do any of that stuff, but to show you that your thoughts ain't helping you. Your thoughts is what's keeping you in trouble. Your thoughts is what's keeping you on this merry-go-round, or you constantly going through the same thing over and over and over and over again. Your thoughts, your same thoughts is what's keeping you going in and out of these same abusive, toxic relationships. Your same thoughts, the thoughts that you've had your whole life, is what has you been abused and neglected and mistreated by everybody in your life. And so our job is to come out like, man, you might want to think about that. You might want to change the way you think. You might want to change the way you see things. We understand you're grown. You can do what you want to do. And we don't personalize it because you tell us we're stupid and we don't know what the hell we're talking about. Man, I don't personalize it at all. Do you? You like it? I love it. You like living like that? Man, okay. I salute you. Peace, deuces. You know what I mean? Go do you. But for those of you that want to grow, for those of you that want to come out of that hellhole mentality, for those of you that want to come out of that trapped, that stuck environment to where, man, life ain't get no better. You've been going through the same crap over and over and over, year after year after year, decade after decade, and you're still the same way. You feel the same way. You think the same way. And you don't know any other way to be. Now that's where I come in at. It's like, okay, man, because I've grown through a whole bunch of stuff that I've gone through, because I've had to learn a whole bunch of stuff. Now I can sit back and be like, hey, I'm not going to tell you what to do at all. I don't tell anybody what to do. I listen to people talk. And while they're talking, it's like, okay, I'm already connected to God. And this God is speaking through me, to this individual. Like, you might want to change the way you think. You think this. How about looking at it from this perspective? What about this? Not that you're wrong, but what about this? So many of us, we could drive up on the scene and see this big muscular guy beating a snot this skinny, scrawny young man, just wearing him out, just wow, just putting in work on him. The great majority of us, we're going to pull out our camera and we're going to start yelling at this big burly guy for beating the snot out of this dude. And we're going to be yelling at him, telling him to stop, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Don't know what the hell's transpired. We just see this big burly dude just putting work in on this little guy. And we're mad at this big guy for being a bully. We're videotaping it. We're going live on Facebook, live on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere, right? YouTube, everything. You know, we're going live, putting this person on blast. Telling the whole world how this guy's a bully. Telling the whole world how this guy's stomping out this little dude and he's a punk because he won't pick on somebody his own size and he's taking advantage of this little guy and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Don't know what the hell don't transpire. But this is what we see. And because this is what we see, this is what we believe to be happening. We've created this whole scenario and we run with it. We call it the cops. Some of y'all call the cops. You know what I mean? Man, quick. And you're reporting this guy for beating this little dude and taking advantage of him and doing this, all this stuff to him, right? You don't know what transpired. Then later on, you get some more information. And the information you get was that this guy came to his mama's house and found that this guy, this same little scrawny dude, had beat the snot out of his mom and raped his daughter. I don't care who you are. I don't care how religious you are. I don't care how spiritual you are. I don't care how saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, water baptized, running for the Lord, all that stuff you want. You come to your mama's house and somebody is beating the snot out of your mama after they done raped your daughter. And you're going to do everything in your power to put your hands on them. And I used to tell people all the time, I'm a healer. I'm a healer. I help people heal. I use my hands to help people heal. But you can also catch these hands. You come at me sideways. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. Just because, man, I meditate, just because, man, I'm connected to God, don't mean that I can't kick you in your throat. And don't mean that I won't kick you in your throat if you do something stupid enough to deserve that. So we have this twisted mentality to think that just because people are spiritual that they punks and that you could just walk all over them and mistreat them. Just a little side note for some of you. But you don't just put this person on blast. You don't dog this person out about how they ain't cracked and whoop-de-whoop and they don't mistreated this little dude. And yet the little dude was the one in wrong. The little dude deserved to get his tail handed to him. The little dude deserved to get stomped out the way he was getting stomped out. And then some. But you didn't have the complete picture. Stay with me. You didn't have the complete picture. The only picture you had was this big burly dude just pow, pow, just putting in work on this little dude. And that's all you saw. That's all the information you had, and you ran with it. And that's what the great majority of you do in life. You get a little perspective, you get a little information, and you run with it. You run with it. And then you don't even take the time to get the whole picture. You get a little bit of information and you take off running. And you think you enlightened. You get a little bit of information and you think you all knowing and can't nobody tell you nothing. You get a little bit of information and you all over social media hyping up this and talking about this and don't know what the hell you talking about. You get a little bit of information and you formulate your own ideas and opinions about how people ain't crap and how you suck as an individual. I must suck because I don't go through this and my parents don't like me and my dad don't like me and my ex-husband left me and all this other stuff. So we got all this information and we don't formulate all these toxic, crazy ideas about quote unquote reality. But it ain't reality. We don't have the full picture. And just like you didn't have the full picture about this big burly dude protecting his mom and defending his daughter, because you weren't entitled to that information. You wasn't privy to that information. You didn't do due diligence to find out that information. You just saw this and ran with it. And you ready to convict this dude for protecting his household, for protecting his mom, for doing what any one of us would have done. We have to learn how to get the big picture. We have to learn how to pause and take a time out and stop being so quick to just run and just like da because you got a little bit of information. What does that got to do with what we're talking about? Family, your whole life, you've gotten a little bit of information about who people thought you were, what people thought you was going to turn out to be. And you took that little bit of information and you ran with it. And because you ran with it, and because you refused to connect to God and get the big picture, and because you refused to connect to God to get the correct picture, you based your reality on a tiny piece of the picture. And it wasn't even factual. It wasn't even true. It was other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, other people's perspectives. And so you build your whole life around other people's perspectives. And because they told you were stupid, you believed that. Because they told you wasn't crap, you believed that. Because they didn't want to be in a relationship with you, you felt like you were unworthy of a relationship. You felt like you was undeserving of love. You took a little bit of the piece of the information available, and you built this whole lifestyle off of that little bit of information because you refused to do the work. And the work is, man, how do I get connected to God? I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about church. How do I get connected to God so that I can see the full picture, so that I can see through the lens of God, so that I can see through the eyes of God? So that when I base my opinion, it's not on the little bit of information that these people are talking about, but it's based on the perspective and from the lens of God, from the eyes of God. Because when I look at my life through the eyes of God, man, I am deserving of love. When I look at my life through the eyes of God, man, God has mercy on me. God forgives me. God has patience with me. God loves me unconditionally. But because I'm not connected to God, and because you're not connected to God, and because you're not looking at things through the eyes of God, you don't see yourself as those things. You don't see yourself the way that God sees you. Because you got a little bit of the information. You got a tiny piece of the puzzle. And your whole life is built on that tiny piece of the puzzle. When at any given moment, all you had to do was connect to God, the Most High, Source, Universe, whatever you want to call him. All you had to do was get connected and get the full picture. But you refuse to do so because the great majority of you don't know that you're capable of doing so. Because you have a misunderstanding of who God is based on religion, based on family, based on friends. Again, you got a tiny piece of the puzzle. A tiny piece of the puzzle. Just because your family and your friends and the religious people are all around you, please understand, they're just a tiny percentage of the population. So although that's all that's around you, that's still just a tiny bit of the population. So again, you're getting a tiny piece of the puzzle. And you're formulating your whole identity off that tiny piece of the puzzle. And it's wrong. It's wrong. And so people like me, our job is to come in and show you that, hey, you might want to change your perspective. Not that we're God. We're just trying to help you to see the bigger picture. We're trying to plug you in to God so that you can see the bigger picture. We're not trying to put you into church. We're not trying to put you into religion. We're trying to put you in connection with God so that you can see the bigger picture, so that you can see your life through the eyes of God. There's a lot of fakeness out there. There's a lot of frauds out there. There's a lot of people leading people astray. And so people have this mistrust. And I understand that. There's a lot of phoniness out there. There's a lot of people talking about chosen ones this and chosen ones that and chosen ones this. And man, your ex is jealous of you and your ex is wanting you back and your ex is thinking about you and these people are this and these. Man, real chosen ones don't give a crap what your ex is thinking about. Real chosen ones don't give a crap what other people are doing. Real chosen ones don't give a crap about any of that crap. Real chosen ones, let's talk about you and I. Let's talk about what's going on with you. I don't give a damn about what's going on with your mama. What's going on with you? I don't care what your daddy did. What's going on with you? Because your daddy was just a tiny piece of the puzzle. Your mama's just a tiny piece of the puzzle. I don't give a crap what your ex did. That's just a tiny piece of the puzzle. What's going on with you? That's what real chosen ones do. That's how real chosen ones talk. They don't give a crap about all the distractions. That's foolishness. That's ignorance. What you're never going to hear me talking about to you guys is, man, your ex is trying to get back with you and your ex is jealous of you and your ex is praying and plotting against you and your ex is, man, putting voodoo on you and because I don't give a crap about that crap. I don't give a crap about any of that stuff. I don't. And real people that connected to God don't give a crap about that. Real people that are speaking the word of God, and I'm not talking about just scriptures, I'm talking about what God has told them to tell you. Because God ain't telling people to tell you that your ex is jealous of you, that your ex wants you back, and that your ex is God don't give a crap about that stuff. That's their issue. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Your job is to sit here and deal with your trauma, to sit here and deal with your madness. Why would God? Just think about this for a second. God's all knowing. God's perfect. He sees the big picture. Why would God tell you with all the issues you got that you refuse to deal with? Why would he tell you to get more distracted and go worry and focus on what somebody else is doing? Why would God, all-knowing God, with all of the issues and drama and trauma you got going on in your life that need to be addressed, that need to be resolved? Oh, no, don't worry about your stuff. You go look at these other people. Oh, don't worry about your stuff. These people did that. That's not God. God ain't never talking to you about what's going on in somebody else's house like that. About their issues, because you got your own issues and he's gonna talk to you about your stuff. And when he wants to talk about them, he's gonna go to them and talk about their issues with them. He ain't gonna talk about their issues with you, because God don't sit there and gossip like that. God ain't petty like that. God ain't judgmental like that. God ain't trying to put nobody on blast like that. That's not who God is. God's trying to get your attention for you to wake up and for you to stop being distracted looking at everybody else. Because as long as you focus on everybody else, you can't fix you. As long as you're worried about what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is saying, what everybody else is dressing, everybody else is getting, you're not worried about you. You're not fixated on you. You're not taking care of your problems. Ain't none of us perfect. Me either. Ain't none of us perfect. We all got stuff that we got to work on. And as long as you fixated on what somebody else is doing, you don't have the time to be working on your stuff. Anytime you see yourself looking at your mama, looking at your daddy, looking at your kids, looking at your ex, looking at all these other people, and you're putting them down, or you're just sitting there just staring at all their stuff and like, man, that don't make no sense, and they're doing this, you missed the point. You missed the point. And the point is, first of all, why the hell are you fixated on them? It ain't your job to save them. To be truthful, you can't save your damn self. You haven't saved yourself. So how the hell do you have time to be fixated on somebody else? You haven't resolved all your stuff. How the hell do you have time to put a pause on your stuff and be focused and looking at everybody else's stuff? As if your stuff ain't a big deal. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. And that's hard. Because we grew up fixated on everybody else. We grew up with this victim mentality. We grew up in survival mode. So survival mode, we're grimy. In survival mode, anything go. In survival, I'm getting mine and I don't care who ain't, you know what I mean? In survival mode, man, it's a dog eat dog world. But that's not living. That's existing. That's existing. And if the truth be told, the great majority of us, we're walking around zombies. We're zombies. We're zombies. Not dealing with our own issues. Completely dead to our own issues. Because when we're dead to our issues, because we're so numb to our issues. And we're numb to our issues because we've carried them for a lifetime and we've never resolved them. So it's no big deal. This is who I am. This is who I'm always going to be. You got to accept it. I've always had anger issues. I've always gotten pissed off and stupid drunk. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. And so a lot of us, we need people. We need people to help us grow up. We do. And there's nothing unmanly about reaching out to a man and having this man as a big brother, as a mentor, as a coach, as somebody to bounce ideas off of. We need that accountability. We need to make sure that, man, bro, keep me straight. Because sometimes I'll wig out sometimes. Sometimes, man, I want to go left sometimes. Sometimes I get in my own way. So I need somebody to hold me accountable. I need somebody to say, hey, hold on, wait, time out. You said you want to accomplish this, this, and that. How is this over here helping you get to over here? We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to learn to prioritize our mental health. That's all I ever talk about on this channel. I don't call it mental health. We just got issues. We messed up in the head. You know what I mean? We got trauma. We got drama. Hurt people hurt people. Healed people heal people. And so you hear me talking about all these things. You hear me saying all these things. Those are all mental health issues. Everything is mental health issues. This has to become our priority. Our mental health has to become our priority. It's not about how yoked up you are. It's not about how much you can bench press and how much you can leg press. It's not about how deep your pockets are or what kind of car you got or what kind of title you got. How's your mental health? See, the great majority of you, man, you asking all the wrong questions. You looking at, man, that brother look thick. That brother fine. That brother da-da-da-da. Man, that sister kind of thick. And, ooh, man. And we looking at all the wrong stuff. Oh, she got a nice place. Oh, he got a nice car. Man, I went to his apartment. He got a nice place. You're looking at all the wrong things. You're talking about all the wrong things. You talking about this guy's FICO score. Man, I don't give a damn if his FICO score is 900. You better be asking him some questions about his fucking psychology, his mental state. The Unabomber was a genius. And he was killing people. It's a whole bunch of smart people that are freaking terrorists. Killing people. So you need to start asking the right questions. Y'all looking at the wrong stuff. You looking at how thick he is in his muscles and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And you need to be asking, well, okay, man, I see you kind of yoked up right there. Are you a woman beater? Do you hate your mama? What's going on with you and your baby mama? Do you got mama issues? Because I want to know if you got mama issues or if you hate your baby mama and you're going to take that crap out on me. And you're going to start beating me and choking me and slapping me. See, dudes, we looking at, man, your breast and your legs and your tail. We look, man, she got some pretty eye. Man, she got that good hair. And Sybil all day long. And what I mean by Sybil, man, she got split personality. Man, she crazy. She cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But you so captivated by how pretty she is. You so captivated by how thick she is. You so captivated by her sitting up there dancing and flaunting and dropping it for you. You can't see nothing else. You can't think about nothing else. So you jump in a relationship with her. And then you pissed off because she don't key up your car. You pissed off because she don't put water in your gas tank. Some sugar in your gas tank. We have to start asking the right questions. And it starts with us. Why am I the way that I am? Why do I react the way that I do? Why am I intimidated to look another person in the eye? Why do you hate men? Why do you hate women? And see, the trip is most of you women don't even realize that you hate men. And most of you dudes don't even realize that you hate women. And that's why y'all treat each other like crap. We have to grow up. And we have to start asking all the right questions. For you as women, why do you allow guys to mistreat you? Why do you allow guys to slap the dog mess out of you? Why do you allow guys to punch you in your eye and kick you and stomp you out? Why do you allow guys to call you a bitch and a hoe and a cunt and everything else? Why do you allow guys to ghost you? They come get some draws and they gone. You don't hear from them again until they want some more draws. Why do you keep allowing that to go on? Why do you choose to be with guys that ain't got no ambition in life? That ain't got no plan, that ain't got no purpose? Why do you choose guys that just want to sit around, smoke, get drunk, and not do anything in life? These are all the right questions. Before you can ask him questions about him, you need to be asking yourself questions about you. Why do you feel that you deserve to be treated the way you do? Why do you feel that it's okay for you to be third on his list? Knowing that he got a wife and another girl on the other side of town, and it's okay for him to come over from time to time. And you're going to treat him like a king. You're going to massage his feet and rub his back and cook for him and give him a bubble bath and all this other stupid crap. And then you'll see him again in another couple of weeks. Why do you think that's okay? We have to start asking all the right questions. We have to start seeing things from a totally different perspective. Because again, your perspective has got you in the mess that you're in. Your way of thinking has gotten you in the hellhole that you're in. Your way of thinking has kept you trapped in the hellhole you're in. Don't be so arrogant. Don't be so narcissistic that you can't ask for help. And so you figure, I'm just going to figure this out on my own. And I don't need nobody trying to help me. I don't need nobody telling me what I need to do and what do. Do you? Do you? Your thoughts ain't worked for you yet. Your belief system hasn't worked for you yet. You're still lonely. You're still miserable. You're still depressed. You're still suicidal. You still hate yourself. You still have low self-esteem. But you refuse to ask for help. You refuse to put your mental state as a priority. You're going to keep getting out of life what you've always gotten. You're going to have to change your way of thinking. You're going to have to change how you see things. My hope and prayer is that when you finally open up your eyes, when you finally see things from a totally different perspective, it's not a perspective of somebody else coming in and they manipulating you and using you and dogging you out, but that you see things through the lens, through the eyes of God. My job, any other real life coach's job, our mentor's job, their job, our job is to help you see life through the eyes of God. Not through my eyes, not through their eyes, but through the eyes of God. And so we're going to sit there and ask you questions. Not to put you down, not to make you feel bad. See, because a real psychologist, a real psychiatrist, anybody worth their weight in gold or platinum that know anything about counseling, they're never going to tell you what to do. Never. They're never going to tell you what's wrong. Ever. They will always ask you questions. And in asking you questions, is to get you to start seeing things from a totally different perspective. They're not going to tell you what the problem is. They're going to ask you questions that's walking you down the path to you understanding and discovering the answer on your own. My prayer is that now you humble yourself. Now you start valuing yourself just enough to ask for help. Just to ask for help. Just to ask for help. And mean it. And truly, genuinely mean it. Family, there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of people depressed right now. There's a lot of people full of anxiety right now. There's a lot of people scared right now. That's all by choice. And I know people don't like hearing this. That's all by choice. Next week, Shayna and I, we're going to come on and we're going to have another video, mental health video on Wednesday. And we're going to talk about depression and anxiety. And we're going to go in depth with that. That might be a two-parter because we're going to go in depth with that. You could change your perspective. You could change your lifestyle. You could change how you see things, how you live at any time you want to. Anytime you truly, genuinely want to. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace. Hey family, we're going to change the world, one person, one heart, and one mind at a time. We have to be the bridge that takes people from their darkness, their pain, their trauma, and ignorance to a place of peace, love, joy, and gratitude. Check out my website, ElijahAmmi.com. I love you guys. Happy healing.